A report by Axios that came out over the weekend says that those closest to Donald Trump are hearing him badmouth Florida's Republican Governor Ron DeSantis behind the scenes, attacking him as dull and boring, saying that he doesn't have a personality. And we all know why Donald Trump is coming with these attacks against DeSantis, but it is odd, of course, that he's only doing this in private. He's not willing yet to come out and do it publicly, except, of course, when he didn't refer to DeSantis by name last week, but said that Republicans who won't say whether or not they've had the shot are gutless. That was clearly a jab at DeSantis, but Trump didn't want to throw his name out there. But behind the scenes, things are a little bit different. And it's not just Donald Trump taking shots at DeSantis. DeSantis last week also took a shot at Donald Trump. During an interview last Thursday, Ron DeSantis said that his biggest regret as the governor of the state of Florida was not pushing back against Donald Trump telling everybody just kind of stay home for 2 weeks. You know, that was in the very early days of the pandemic. It wasn't even an order, by the way. There was no national lockdown, as DeSantis is trying to claim. It was just Trump saying like, hey, you guys just want to chill at your house for a couple weeks, we might be okay from this. Like, that's it. A very weak argument from Donald Trump. And DeSantis says, my biggest regret was not fighting that with more vigor. And that pissed Trump off. That's why Trump is saying behind the scenes he's dull, he's boring. That's why Roger Stone had to come out with his absolutely brutal attack against Ron DeSantis over the weekend. And this is going to continue to escalate. And the reason it's going to continue to escalate, folks, is because Trump views DeSantis as his biggest threat. And DeSantis technically is his biggest threat. When you look at polling data for potential 2024 Republican nominees, Donald Trump is at the top of every one of those polls. And when you remove Trump from those polls, DeSantis is at the top. And not just by 1 or 2 points. DeSantis can pull a double-digit lead from everybody underneath him. And I'm talking about people like Ted Cruz, Nikki Haley, Mike Pence, Rick Scott, Josh Hawley, Tom Cotton, all of those people whose names have been floated as potential 2024 Republican candidates, DeSantis is outpolling them by double digits right now. The only person he trails behind is Donald Trump. So if Trump doesn't run, DeSantis is already the front runner. But Donald Trump is pissed off specifically, not just because he's a big threat, but because he's a threat who hasn't said he's not running in 2024. That's what's making Trump mad, according to the people that spoke to Axios. And in his defense, which is a weird thing to say for Ron DeSantis, but in DeSantis' defense here, there's a good reason he hasn't said yes or no to running for president in 2024. And that's because he is facing a very tough re-election here in this state this year. He doesn't want to muddy those waters by saying either I'm definitely not running for president and then backing himself into the corner, or announcing that he is running for president, then his Democratic rivals can use that against him, saying he's abandoning our state, using you as a springboard to win federal office. Either way, it's not a good look for him. So no, DeSantis is not going to come out and say yes or no definitively he is not or is going to run for president in 2024. And as long as he continues to not do that, he's going to continue to piss Donald Trump off. So DeSantis is stuck between a rock and a hard place. But he's clearly not going down without a fight. And if he continues to fire back against Donald Trump, it's not going to be long, and I'm talking about maybe a couple of days, before Trump starts making his attacks on Ron DeSantis public. And once that happens, all hell is going to break loose in the Republican Party down here in the state of Florida. And I got to tell you, I'm hoping that that happens. This is Hattie. Hattie wants to know why you have not subscribed to our channel. You obviously like our videos, so do us a favor and subscribe.